Welcome to CARDESIGN Academy, where we help aspiring designers master the skills and technology necessary to succeed as an automotive designer through live, online training, and personal mentoring. Today we're going to be learning the fundamentals of drawing in perspective. We're going to be drawing cars in perspective, but first we're going to learn the science of perspective by drawing some simple boxes and cubes in space. And so to start with, I'm going to explain how perspective works and how you can draw boxes in space with precision and with accuracy and understanding how perspective really works. So I'm going to start with drawing a line across my page. Imagine, if you will, that this is the horizon. So we're going to call this the horizon line. And so everything above this line is the sky. Everything below this line is the ground. And we're going to draw a cube that is slightly below the horizon, and we're going to draw another cube that's slightly above the horizon. Now, in perspective, as objects get closer to you, they get larger, and as they get farther away, they get smaller, to the point where they actually disappear. And so we call that the vanishing point. And so in perspective, we have two vanishing points. So if you imagine a point on either side of the page, and let's imagine where the corner of this cube is. So I'm going to draw a vertical line. Could be somewhere to the right, could be somewhere to the left. I'm going to draw it slightly to the left. And then I'm going to draw a line all the way from each of the vanishing points to the edge of the corner of that cube. Now, it could be anywhere on the page, but this is where practicing those really nice straight lines really helps. So then I'm going to define the top of the cube with another line. So every single line of that cube is going to converge towards one of those two vanishing points. And then I'm going to draw two more vertical lines, and these represent the vertical edges of the cube. And then I'm going to define the top of the cube, again, by drawing all the way to each of those vanishing points. And so if I darken in some of these lines, and you can see I've been sketching very lightly, keep it light till it's right. Now I've defined a cube in space. Let's say we have a light source coming in from the upper right. I can darken one side of that cube just a little bit. And now you can clearly see a cube that is in space just below the horizon line. Now if I wanted to, I could draw another cube that is above the horizon line. So let's say I have another sort of vertical line here. This would be the corner of my cube, and this time it's more to the right of the page, and I'm going to use those same two vanishing points to define a cube that is above the horizon. Maybe this cube isn't quite equal sized. Maybe it's a little bit shorter in one direction and a little bit longer on the other. Again, I'm defining the bottom of the cube by connecting those edges directly to those vanishing points. And so now I can go ahead and define that cube with precision and confidence. And since the sun is coming in at the same direction, I can darken that side. And then the bottom edge is going to be very dark because it's completely in shadow. So now you can see there's two cubes occupying the same space. One is slightly below the horizon line, and the other is slightly above the horizon line. And I'm going to draw a third cube, which is actually going to be more like a building. And I'm going to put that one up here, and it's going to be actually crossing over the horizon line. So this will be like a building that extends below the horizon line and above the horizon line. And I'm using those same two vanishing points. I'm going to darken one side of that building. I'm going to turn my page a little bit because it's easier to sketch with the natural arc of my arm. Now I might draw one more cube, which is still below the horizon line, but a little bit wider and longer. So something that might be more in the proportion of a car. So it's going to be lower, flatter. Longer than it is wide, lower than it is long or wide. So up to this point, we've been working towards the same two vanishing points, and there actually is something called three-point perspective, and I'll explain that just very quickly. And that's if you're looking way up or way down on something. I'm going to draw a different horizon line with a different set of vanishing points, and this time I'm going to I'm really going to force the object down well below the horizon line. So let's pretend we're looking at a building or something. We're looking down on a building from an aerial view, and now instead of all the vertical lines being parallel, they're actually going to converge towards a third vanishing point somewhere off the page. So you can see these lines are actually starting to get closer together. And so three-point perspective comes in handy when you're sketching something of a very extreme perspective. So for example, a building where you're looking down on it or up towards it, maybe you're drawing a vehicle from an aerial view. It can be a bit challenging to draw vehicles from that perspective, but it's something that comes in really handy when you're trying to convey a really dramatic point of view. A really, very, very, or a very large scale object. And so this is the science of drawing boxes in space. And so for this exercise, I want you to draw a series of boxes in space, occupying the same two vanishing points, same horizon line, and try coloring in one side of the cube to indicate some form and dimension. And really get to know how perspective works, because when we get into the next exercise, which is to actually draw a car in perspective, we're going to be using boxes in space to help define the shape and proportion of the vehicle. If you're looking to take your car design career to the next level, you need a mentor who can show you the way. Go to www.CARDESIGN.ACADEMY and book a free discovery call. We can help you map out a strategy to master the skills and technology necessary to succeed as an automotive designer through live, online training, and personal mentoring. Whether you're just starting out on the journey or you're looking to level up, subscribe to our channel and be sure to follow us on Instagram at CARDESIGN.ACADEMY.